Oh, let's go. We are live. Testing, testing. I want to see if I got the mic on. The mic is on, that we can get it popping. Got the mic on. Okay. The mic is on, that we can get it popping. Let's go. We are live. Testing, testing. I want to see if I got the mic on. We are okay. The mic is on, that we can get it popping. Yeah. Let's see how this looks. No, same vibe. I don't love that. Yep. Okay. We almost there, team. Let's go. Here we go. Let's see how this looks. Same vibe. I don't love that. Okay. And yep. Okay. I can see the chat. Let's go. Here we go. Oh yeah, so this is the first time going live for Harcum Holistic. And now it's time to get into it. We're talking all about it. And I want to share so much in this video. All right. All right, get that out of there. All right, so if you've ever wondered how to start a business, how to grow and expand that business, and grow that business to generating and earning $1 million, or maybe you even wondered how or what kind of mental and physical shape you need to be in to build a business that grows $1 million, then I'm going to talk to you about that in this business. I'm going to explain to you how I started Good Part and Company, my plant-based health cafe, how I expanded that business to secure a partnership with Johns Hopkins, and then all the things that went into it, how I leveraged my health to expand and grow the business, and ultimately why I closed Good Part and Company. If you are not familiar, I'm Quintal Harcum. I founded Good Part and Company, plant-based health cafe and juice bar, which went on to be the first and only Black-owned food service provider or vendor at Johns Hopkins University. After the success of Good Part and Company, I started to focus on nutrition, and we launched the health and performance coaching platform, Harcum Holistic, where we help overwhelmed, busy, professional men improve their energy, improve their clarity, and improve their time so they can live the life they want and enjoy the success that they earned. Okay, and so now I'm going to dive into the full story on how I got with Johns Hopkins, how things went, and ultimately why I closed Good Part and Company, which came as a huge surprise to most people. So if you're wondering why my eyes are darting around, I'm going live on both Good Part and Company and Harcum Holistic right now. So what up, everybody? I won't be able to do a wave or a how, what's up, but what's popping, good partners? One last time, you know what I'm saying? Gotta shout out the good partners. Thank you for hopping on here and checking it out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were really interested in all the things we had going on with Good Part and Company and why we decided to close, or why I decided to close. And I don't really have a problem talking about it because I've been transparent about the business since day one when we did live streams from our first cafe, where I did IG live from home talking about health, wellness, plant-based nutrition, and all those good things. So let's get started. Let's talk about the early years and how I got the partnership, right? So we opened Good Part and Company in 2020 during the pandemic. And let me tell you what it really took. When it comes to, so for brick and mortar, it costs a lot of money, you know, unless you already had money. So I had to get some business funding. At the time, I had pretty decent credit, and I had some money saved up, really in my 401k. So straight up, I leveraged my 401k and along with my good credit, and I got approved for a business loan. I was super confident. It wasn't even about whether or not I was going to get the loan. It was about who was going to give me the loan. So I had two banks bidding to give me the loan. I went with the black-owned bank. Shout out to Harbor Bank of Maryland. And before I actually opened the brick and mortar, just for further background reference for anybody that's looking to possibly start a business, I'm gonna take my glasses off so it won't be a glare. That's looking to start a business. I did juice pop-ups in my living room as proof of concept. So you want to go test the market first to make sure you got a business that's valuable that people actually care about. I hit up all my friends. I was just literally texting people like, "Yo, I'm having the juice pop up at my house. Come through." And we did that for like 3 weekends, right? We made some money. So I was like, all right, cool. I decided to go do a pop up in the storefront. Got turned down from that. And I was like, you know what? I ain't doing no pop up. I'm gonna just go open my own store. So we was fortunate enough to go do that. So I wrote the business plan, got approved for the loan. Then the pandemic hit in March. So that delayed the opening until about September. So now I'm sitting 4 or 5 months, right? From March, maybe 6 months, and money just dwindling. I'm burning through all my marketing capital, but I was able to hold the storefront together and we launched, right? So we opened, boom. So we opened in 2020. I still work full time for the government, right? At Social Security. So only like 2 people at Social Security know, but whatever. So I'm burning the candle on both ends, 9 to 5, working remotely for Social Security and owning and operating and getting this juice bar off the ground. So I go hard, do all the things I needed to do. Got the juice cleansers going. We got the juices flowing in the store. We got the smoothies. We got the smoothie bowls. We getting all those things going. Next thing I know, early 2021, I get hit up from Johns Hopkins. And I thought it was spam because they sent me a DM at first from Johns Hopkins through Instagram. And you got that little folder that say request. You can't really see it. You don't know who the person is. Who knows? But I see it. I say, yeah, well, send me an email. And then they sent me a real official email with the JHU, signature at the bottom. I was like, oh, this is official. So we put the things together. We talked about it. You guys seize the opportunity. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm not in my business plan. I wasn't ready to expand within a year, but this is literally within a year I'm able to expand. So I got the opportunity. So because even though managing the cafe was very stressful, not even a bit stressful, it was very stressful. You got to take advantage. You got to think clear and take advantage of the opportunities, right? So you got to step up, seize the opportunity. So I was really excited about that. And I was like, well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to just ask them what they want and see if I can meet them halfway. They told me what I had to do. I had to pitch against other juice bar businesses local, in Baltimore, right? Because they wanted to work with a local partner. I don't know who the businesses are. I just know I had a deadline. So I called up a few friends, told them about it, and I did my thing. Now, I'm going to show you guys, for my people here on IG Live, you can't see this, but if you on the live stream with me, then you can see I'm going to show you guys exactly what I actually gave them, right? So they wanted you to do a pitch. Now, most people think you need a pitch. You need a pitch deck, right? And I'm like, well, cool, but at this time, I'm not very versed in Canva or PowerPoint or Google Slides and stuff like that. I don't really know how to make slides very well. And I started out by making some slides. And because it was so difficult to figure out how to make a slide, I was like, man, forget this. I know how to build websites. So I built the whole website as my presentation for Johns Hopkins. And I can tell to some degree, it kind of blew their mind. So I'm going to share my screen here on YouTube. And for my guys, I've showed this. You can find this on my Good Part and Company page on how I secured my deal. I got all the screenshots and gave all the background story on how I actually got the deal. So I'm trying to share my screen. Oh, here we go. Boom. So I want to share this screen right here. This I will be able to. Bear with me, guys. My first time going live. That is. Boom, boom. All right. So what I did was I actually built a website, right? Because Dwight, what's happening, homie? I just built a website because I don't know how to make pitch decks, but I know how to build websites. So I put my pitch deck into a website, and the name of the website was called A Match Made in Wellness, right? So I was going to be the Harcum Holistic is my name on YouTube, homie. Oh, that's my man, the content creator. That's my man. So, yeah, Harcum Holistic. So, the name of the website is it was Good Part Proposal at Squarespace or whatever. So we get on the pitch, we on Zoom, I'm in front of 8, 10 people. I don't know who these people are, but they all work for Johns Hopkins. But one of the guys looked familiar, and I'll tell you about how I know him. He's a black guy. I know him from the gym. I don't know him like that, but I recognize him. And so I like, okay, that I don't know why, but that just made me feel like, all right, I'm talking to somebody who might know anything about Baltimore because this guy, I know I seen him here. But I was already confident because I already built up this business so far within a year. So a match made in wellness. Now, if you're looking at the screen, am I still sharing my screen? I sure hope so. Let me just check. But anyway, I go through everything that needs to be in the screen, in the pitch, depending over well. But the things that I actually put into the pitch were my origin story about how I went plant-based, went vegetarian, uh, improve my diet so I can improve my energy, get back into entrepreneurship, and find a way to help my community improve their quality of life from the inside out. Because that's really what I care about, helping people improve their quality of life from the inside out, right? And the way I can contribute to that is to help people with their health, right? Because I've already in a decade being plant-based and figuring out the diet, figuring out what foods give me energy, what foods drain my energy when I'm feeling sick, how to bounce back. The next part of the website was, so let me walk you guys straight through it. Boom. So there go the origin story. Here's a proof of concept picture from my apartment when I was like literally just had little trays, my little juicers. I had like 2 juicers at home. I'm just like really whipping up. All my friends there had a little breakfast bar in the crib, right? So all my friends on one side of the breakfast bar, I'm inside the kitchen part, just making juices. So boom, origin story. The second part was offerings and operations. Now, I will give big credit to Social Security because they had like professional development courses where I was trained on how to give presentations and how to condense writing so that I'm not talking too much like I might be doing in this video. But the next section was offerings and operations. So I talked about what we offer on our menu, all of the ways that we can meet the demands of Johns Hopkins and what they have on their campus. I talked about all of what up, shout out to everybody coming into the chat, all of the specialties that we could actually offer for the campus, and then also the pricing because they wanted to make a manageable price point because all of the students, they want like a fixed budget with their meal plan, so on and so forth. Boom. So now I got to stroke their ego a little bit, right? I got to talk to them about what benefits them, and that's when I came in with the next part of the presentation, which was a winning team. Let them know that I'm looking forward to collaboration, and it's kind of a good alignment because of Johns Hopkins' efforts towards sustainability and being on the campus. It's all about education, and that was the thing that set Good Part apart from all of the other juice bars and health cafes, right? So we leaned heavy into education. So you would come into the cafe, we had like the Good Part University, a little library of health books and things like that. And then I also did weekly IG lives talking about health and wellness, right? So I showed them sustainability. I talked to them about education, right? Old school, which was Good Part University, like the actual books, and then new school, right? Virtual learning and all that type of stuff. And then I actually put in some of the virtual streams where I break some things down. So I did some highlight clips, put them on YouTube, added the YouTube links into the website because again, I know how to make websites. I don't know how to do PowerPoints at this time or slide presentations until Canva came and saved my life. So from there, I went into the last section, which is the part where I say how we are how Good Part is uniquely positioned, right? So really, I put that part in there because I wanted them to know I don't know who I'm pitching against, but what I do is different, and we are in a different position than everybody else for this specific reason. We was located in the middle of the city, very notable neighborhood, right in the heart of Mount Vernon. That was a big blessing. I'm not even. I know how I found it, but it wasn't my intention. But God's plan is God's plan. So we located right in the prime of Mount Vernon, easy to get to from all over the place, and then we're accessible mostly through connection, right? Because I understand technology, I use it all the time. So, we was big on IG doing our thing, using our email list, of course, and we also use Superphone. So I have an interview with Superphone. You can see it on Superphone podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast, but just look up Superphone. I did an interview with them on how I use their platform. So Superphone is a SMS communications platform founded by Ryan Leslie, right, the music artist. And I thought it was great. And I was like, I'm not an artist, but I can leverage it to stay in contact with all of the people who came to support Good Part and let them know, hey, it's really me. I appreciate your support. This is what I got going on at the cafe this week. This is what we got. We got live stream coming up. We got 20% off juice cleansers. We got a new smoothie recipe. Like that's what I was using it for. That's to let Hopkins know we're going to another level, staying connected with all the good partners. And then the last part was showing them where we actually give out the education. So through our menus and all of our printed collateral, our podcast, the Good Part podcast, where I ran off like a little series of 10, 11 episodes talking about health and wellness, and then also social media, leveraging Instagram, YouTube here and there, but mostly Instagram. This is back in 2021. And then I showed them what the real thing that really, really separated Good Part and Company. And people talk about this all the time, but it's really not that easy to bring together. Is that Good Part really is a lifestyle, and we express that through all of our design, all of our merch and our designs, right? So of course we had like stickers and things like that, but also we had cups, we had cooler bags, beanies in the wintertime, running caps in the summertime, t-shirts, like exclusive merchandise. You could come in the store and actually shop, and it wasn't like an afterthought. We had an actual retail space in the middle of the store, then we upgraded that, brought it all to the front of the store, and we had some really hot items. Our hats sold very well. Our t-shirts did okay. We dropped some hoodies, they did okay. We made rugbies. I got a background in fashion design at FIT, and I was fortunate enough to think like, oh snap, let me just go in and hit my people up and had to make some stuff, or leverage some of the contacts I had in the network I had for fashion, and did some graphic designs. And I kept it real simple so that it wasn't a lot more work on my plate, but the simplicity fit into the design that me and my buddy Kiana, she was the interior decorator for the original Good Part and Company. So I brought all those things together. We made merch and really let Hopkins know, like, yo, we all the way tapped in. We all the way plugged in. All right, so boom. That is how we got that's what happened in the pitch. That was in early 2022, like early, like March. I ain't hear back from them until August. I didn't even think about it. I will say, because I think it's important to mention this, that I'm fortunate enough to know that everything you need, all the resources you need are right in front of you. So I just went on my phone, like, yo, I got opportunity to expand Johns Hopkins. And I just went on my phone and found my friends that had money. I legit called like 3 or 5 of my homies. And I was like, yo, I got a chance to expand, but I need expansion capital. Would you be interested? And he was like, yeah, what you got going on? I said, yo, I'm gonna write down a little proposal. I'm gonna send it to you, because even though it's friends in business, we got to keep it legit. I keep everything up front and straight. So I put it on paper. Boom, I need this much. You get this much back. I don't want you to be an investor. I don't want you to be a partner. I don't need you to do that. I just need you to invest, and I give you your money back. So I sent it to 3 of them. One of them pitched in, and shout out to Gabe and Danae. Really appreciate you guys. A lot of people don't know, but they are the people who invested in helping me expand to Johns Hopkins. But before we get to the expansion, I ain't hear back from them until August. So to be prepared, I just called my friends and said, yo, this might be happening. Let me know. And he was like, all right, yeah. And then by the time it actually did happen, I revisited them to see what was happening. All right, so I just gave it to God. I ain't had time to worry about it because, one, I still work 9 to 5 for the government. 2, I got to operate this cafe. It's my first time managing employees. I'm doing payroll. I'm still trying to do these IG lives. I got to keep the cafe clean. I'm trying to run promotions. I'm trying to train staff so they can make the juices to take some stuff off my plate. It was getting real, man. It was super duper hectic. And then all of a sudden, August comes. Hopkins hits me back like, yo, you got it. But he sent me a little email. I misread it. You know how you can read on your phone. You get the email, you see like the little preview. I misread the preview and thought it meant like thank you for your time. But I thought that's what it said. So I went back to my office in the cafe. I sat down and opened the actual email, and I actually won. I didn't know what to think. I just did a spin around in like a 360 in my chair. And then I called my man about the money. That's really how that went. So we got it. And then I started to make plans on like, how can I make the expansion? And so now in this part of the video, I'm going to talk to you about how to expand your business, right? Brick and mortar retail, the type of things that go into it, and how you can make that, really a smooth transition, right, into expansion. So, and then also how the partnership actually work. Now, to expand, I needed capital so I can run it up with inventory and staff, right? So mostly just labor and goods, because Johns Hopkins took care of the biggest thing, which was the actual space that we'll be serving from. So that was a part of the deal. They built out the space inside the rec center. Boom, blah. I ain't had to worry about that. I didn't have to worry about outfitting it. I just had to worry about bringing my good recipes, my menu, my staff, and good part energy. So that's what I did. But I needed to expand. I can't be in two places at once. I'm still pulling together my first shop, kind of getting things kind of grounded and things running smooth with the staff. So I needed a manager. And I didn't know how to hire a manager because I will be honest, I am not the best manager. I need to lead with vision and by action. And if I had to stop to oversee other people doing things, I'm not going to be as effective. So I'm like, damn, I need a manager. So I'm talking to one of my friends and I'm like, yo, one of my best friends. So I'm always calling him, talking to him about whatever. And I'm like, yo, I Hopkins hit me back. I got a chance to expand, but I need a manager. My man that's here, he's not really ready to expand just yet. So I need him to oversee this joint while I still work for Social Security. I need a manager. I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do. So my man hit me. My man was on the line, like, he had time. He lived in a different state and he had, some time on his hands. He didn't have a full-time job or anything. He was like, yo, let me get that. And I was like, what you mean? He was like, I got you. I come and manage. So we figured out a deal. We worked it out. He came to help to manage the second store and help me get the expansion. So when you have to expand your business, you're going to need to replicate yourself as close as possible, or replicate the processes that you need to get the operation going well. But the processes are going to change a bit at this new location because the setup, the dynamics of how students roll in, the amount of traffic, the size of the space, and all those types of things. So to be honest, I'm kind of starting from zero or starting from scratch because I have to build new processes and then I have to get my manager to understand those processes so he can give them to the team. Well, that didn't go so well. That person wasn't really a great manager for me. They had managerial experience though, which is why I was like, okay, cool. And we're friends, so we can get this money together. But that didn't work out well. They didn't like the way I led in business. I will be honest, it wasn't, I'll tell you why it wasn't a good deal on my end because I didn't interview or have any other candidates to compare my friend to. I just gave him the position. And then the time to come down to the nitty gritty and do the actual paperwork and stuff like that. And like I just told you, I'd be straight up about the paperwork. So I just wrote a whole real contract. This wasn't no homeboy handshake type stuff. I wrote a whole contract. Like, this is what you're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is where we at. And I paid him more than what he deserved, but I gave him what he asked for because I needed to just get it done. And I'm willing to do that. And I had to bite the bullet on that. So I say, all right, here we go. This is what we're doing. And along the way, we had some challenges. It wasn't really working smooth. We found some common ground on how to make things work, but that was really just me accommodating and not putting my foot down as the leader of my business. And so it just made things difficult. True colors were shown, and I ended up firing. What had happened was I'm looking at my revenue, and I'm like, well, I got money, but I don't have as much money as I should have. And now I'm starting to understand why, because even though I'm making a lot of cash, the cash wasn't coming in. And he didn't do anything wrong or anything about that before you even think that. It was based on the terms of payment with Johns Hopkins, right? And so that that was inconsistent and didn't work well. And we'll talk about that later on in the story. But during this part, during the expansion, you gotta have your processes, you gotta have your people, and you gotta have some money. And so the money was not flowing like it needed to. And I realized I was going to have to figure out something or the whole business would be broken and I would close everything. So I called one of my friends who was a business mentor. This part is not that important to the story, but that person is a part of a restaurant group and they offered to buy 50% of Good Part and Company prior to Johns Hopkins deal. So we was getting major traction. And I'm really grateful for that. But I called the mentor, I asked them what they thought, and I was like, yo, could you help me? And they was like, well, I can't help you, but this is what I would do. And what they said they would do confirmed what I thought, which was I'm gonna have to close this first store because all of the money is coming in up there. If I can get up there, make things run smooth, I can get everything back on the path that it needs to be. A part of closing the store means I got to cut all the dead weight. And I'm all about failing fast. So I made the decision in 24 hours. We closing this store. Next day, I call all the staff, give them a real straight up honest one-on-one. The staff I wanted to take with me, I let them know what the opportunity was. I said, hey, we closing this joint. This is what we got going on. I got a spot for y'all. Want to roll? I'm gonna give y'all a pay raise, and we rocking. He was like, all right, I hit my man. I was like, yo, got opportunity. This is what I'm trying to do. He wasn't trying to talk to me. So I never got to tell him what was going on or what the play was or how we was going to make the money and how everything would work. And everything kind of went up about 50%, which is a whole lot in terms of revenue generation. Like that could be double. But anyway, he stopped talking to me. And guess what I did? I kept it professional. I sent the legit termination notice, got him straight up out of there. Because that's what my mentor told me, like, man, he ain't really trying to ride. And I was like, you're right. Sent him a professional notice. You terminated. I'm going to honor this part of the agreement. Here's what we got going on. Let's just keep it pushing. I had to get that done because, mind you, I'm still working full time. All right. So, still working full time. Had to overcome the challenge of bad business with friends. I had to overcome the challenge of feeling like I let my staff and my team down, and also the community because the people in Mount Vernon were really starting to get attached to Good Part and Company. We was doing events, we had pop-ups, we had this event called Fresh Press Fitness where we had the street blocked off. We were outside doing fitness boot camps, yoga, with kinetic key. It was jamming, right? So and then everybody could come in and get discounts. I had the running group, shout out to Riot Squad, my running group. They would come. We would do runs from Good Part and Company. So we were really attached to the community, but we couldn't tap in to the sales like we needed to. So I had to close that. I had to get over that challenge because business don't care. Business just wants to generate, right? It wants to serve the customers and it wants to generate revenue. So that's what I had to do. So I closed the first location. I had to take whatever else I got to take on that, lose out on money, pay whatever debt, and get things really rolling because things was rolling way more up at Johns Hopkins. On top of that, because I wasn't there, I couldn't navigate the relationships and how things were working and see how they was moving on campus and how that impacted Good Part and Company. And once I got my feet on the ground daily there, the people there let me know that the guy I had put in place wasn't a great representation of the brand, right? Because if you go online, you see what Good Part and Company is about. You go to the website, you see what it's about. You look at the staff, you look at me. We got on Good Part shirts, we got on the hats, we got on the aprons. It's all love. We giving out the cups, we got the stickers. He wasn't really fitting that mold. One, he wasn't in the health and wellness like that. Two, what he was going through different things in his life that did not align with how I was trying to move and project this. Now, mind you, I'm new, so I may not have been the best leader, but I damn sure wasn't the worst because I clearly got this thing rolling. I already got a staff, and I got some of that staff to go with me. So I was making the moves I needed to make to keep the business going. Now, the one thing I can say that really that happened around that time is I had a lot of anxiety because I did not know really what to do. And the fear of closing the business and having to deal with all that debt was major. I'm like, yo, I got a lease, I got equipment, I got a business loan. All these things got to get managed. Like just because I'm moving to Hopkins, don't mean Harbor Bank don't want their money. Okay, so I still got to pay that bill. I got to pay out the rest of my staff. I got to honor this contract that I gave Homeboy, and I honored the contract because I don't like bad energy. And remember, time is not money. Energy is money. That's why it's called currency, because it's based on a current, and current is energy. So I need to keep positive energy because it's going to keep my cash flow and my money flowing positively. So I honored that contract, paid him out. It was a big lump sum for the time that he did work with me and at Good Part Company. Got him straight up out of there, had to pay other things. So all that gave me crazy anxiety, and I'm still working for Social Security. Now, between that time, that happened around January, I started to get burnt out, and in April, I got real sick. And I couldn't even go to the cafe. And I had enough systems in place so that the staff could make juice and smoothies every day. But this is our second semester, and things were like really stepping up and like getting real busy because once I got in there, I was able to do this. Let's move this here. Let's move this there. And I'm like almost every day I was making some new adjustment. I brought my mom in to work with me because she wanted to work. She's retired, and she got her son back, so she wanted something to do. So I put my mom in there. I got my mom on payroll. It's a whole family business. I got my staff from down the first store, plus the best of the staff that was at the new location. We all rocking and rolling. Now I'm in there day to day. That staff is good enough to give me a time to do my remote work for the government, come back, make some smoothies, back and forth, boom, bow. Crazy stressful. And I still got to handle bank business or whatever other affairs and promotional opportunities, so on, whatever. Around April, I get real sick, and I come home, get on the couch, and I just couldn't get back up for 6 days. Legit, I just couldn't get back up. The kid was down. The staff was good enough to work every day, and by the end of the 6 days, like the fifth or sixth day, they needed some inventory because I did all the inventory. I was the bottleneck in that situation for inventory. But we made it happen. I was able to get the inventory up to the cafe. I could move around a little bit more. I got my health back together. But that's when I really realized, like, the way that I manage my health between the transition of getting my mind right to start a business while working at Social Security, right, having the 9 to 5 and doing what it took to write a business plan and build up a business idea. I had to have hella extreme mental clarity. So I needed to wake up early, do the things that took care of me first before I went to work. All of that helped me build up the business plan. Now I got the business rolling. I'm burning the candle on both ends. I'm probably only sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. And that's no good. And I kind of thought I just really burnt out. And so I had to pull it back together. The first thing I did was, once I got my energy back right, I started exercising more again. I started running again. My fitness goals changed, so I had to do like more strength training because like I'm realizing I'm standing on my feet all day as opposed to sitting in the chair, which I got to be stronger. I got to be more mobile, and I need more physical endurance. And then I need more mental clarity because now I have to manage all of these things, the things I thought my manager was going to help me out with. He didn't. So now I got to get back into the mode. Like, I got to be a manager. I got to be an entrepreneur. And sometimes I got to be a technician. If you read the E-Myth, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be a technician at all. But because I'm the best person no, I'm lying. I had 2 employees who are actually better than me at making smoothies. So shout out to them. But because I know how to get all the operations done faster and at a higher clip, I got to be behind this counter serving smoothies. I didn't really like that. But I had to do it. So I started working out again. Then I started to figure out how can I feed my new body because I'm moving around more. So I had to get my nutrition better, especially having a plant-based diet. It's like, I got to make sure I'm eating the right stuff so I don't get either too weak and then I can gain some muscle, right? Because I don't want to be like, I was getting skinny. So I figured that out. But the one thing I did that really, really, really bounced back that I didn't really get away from it, but I wasn't doing it as well is meditating. So I've been meditating since like 2007. I really stepped it up around 2012, and then from let's say 2017 on, I meditate. I probably 90% of all days. I will show you my meditation tracker look like, but it's on my phones and I'm live. So whatever. I use the Insight Timer. It's a tracker. If you are on my mailing list, which if you're watching this video on YouTube, you could just click and subscribe to the mailing list. Although you guys on live, if you follow me on Harcum Holistic, there's always going to be a link somewhere, either in my bio or in my stories, to get on the mailing list. So I send out the apps and the things that I use. I use Insight Timer. Insight Timer let me know, like, it's like a Calm app or whatever. They have all of the cool, like guided meditations, music only meditations, but it log it every day. And then you can also track your feelings, what things are impacting you, stuff like that, right? Really, really, really great app. But I like it because it shows me how much time I've meditated and how many days I meditated. And so meditation really helped me bring my anxiety down. When I was sick for those 6 days, I was in deep meditation. And that's when I realized that I'm leaving Social Security. And so I gave him 30 more days. I gave him a 2 weeks notice, but I stayed for 30 more days. Why? Corporate comfort. You need that paycheck, right? So I had to rock out. I had to get that extra paycheck. But I knew once I left, that Good Part and Company would be in the space where it could pay my bills because we was jamming. We was doing our thing. It was all about cash flow. So boom, you got to overcome the hurdles of, if you want to start a business or you want to maintain a business or expand a business, which we were in, you have to be physically and mentally resilient. You got to be in shape, right? You get confidence from being in good physical shape. And if you can train the body, the mind is going to follow. But first, you got to actually get your mind right to go train. It's a crazy circle. It's a vicious loop, and you got to get into it. It's going to be so beneficial if you find a way to take care of your health. You can make all things happen. I'm trying to tell you. So I got back into meditation, like heavy at home, 20 minutes a day. But even if I couldn't get the 20 minutes in, I would do 5 here. I would go out into my car on my lunch break at the cafe, park somewhere at Hopkins that's quiet, sit in my car and meditate. I did what I had to do. And on the weekends, like I would go to the sauna when I could. All of those things I had to get away. All those things I got away from at certain points because of the demand of the cafe. So we'll talk about that in the next part. But that's what the expansion looked like. The business really did explode once I was able to come up and focus at Johns Hopkins. The unfortunate thing was that we lost connection with a lot of the original good partners and our citywide customer base because the Hopkins storefront is not a street facing business. So nobody knows where it is and they don't know much about getting around on Hopkins campus. You can't see it. It's open to the public, but it's not visible to the public. So that was really tough on me. Like, it was good to know I was still doing even more business, but it really hurt that I couldn't, I wasn't really tapped in with my people because they like to come to see me. They wanted to talk. I was doing consultations in the store, and just that connection was real. It fed me, and I'm an introverted person, but I really liked engaging with all of the customers at Good Part Company. So, that really kind of hurt me, and it really started to make me think, like, what can I do to get back into that zone where I could be connected with the citywide customers. I mean, like, legit, I'm getting hit up from people in Atlanta, like doing pop-ups there and different stuff like that. So, I mean, like, multiple people too. So, I didn't know what to do, but all I knew was you had to lead by example from where you are. And I can't be an effective leader if I'm showing up groggy, with a bad temper, looking overweight or out of shape or unenthused, right? So I got to manage all of that by managing stress and getting my health back together. So that allowed me to ride out. So we riding out. I get everything together. I manage my debt. I handle all the things for the first store, close that out smoothly, do what I can to stay connected either through Superphone or through our email contact list. And now it's about connecting with the good partners at Hopkins campus and the decisions that I made to build up Good Part more. And then we'll go into why I decided to end it. So in this part of the video, I'm going to talk about the things we did to kind of grow Grow Good Part and Company at Johns Hopkins, beyond Johns Hopkins. We completed our first school year, like first full school year, 2 semesters. Right now we in summertime. A new challenge arises because it's my first summer within the school schedule, and school's out in the summertime. So there are a lot less people. Sales declined by more than 50%. And now I'm looking like I don't know what to do. And I did not anticipate that because I did so much work to get things to where it was actually making sense and smooth. So once I figured out, all right, we're not going to have enough money going on, I was able to work with my staff and let them know, like, yo, this is what's going on. And you're not fired. You can come back when the semester's over. But unfortunately, this is how it goes. And they knew it wasn't, they knew it was like a legit thing as far as how the flow of business or the business cycle would work. But what I noted then was that from the visionary point of view, right, as an entrepreneur, I know that this makes, while people like the culture of Good Part and Company, like employees, this makes my job less desirable for employees to work at because they're not going to want to have to take a 2.5 month break. That's not appealing. Not to mention the couple of weeks that you offer, like spring break and holiday. Like you don't get paid those weeks you don't work. So my business I may pay more hourly, maybe a better culture. People rather get paid more consistently, so they would work somewhere else in food and beverage rather than with Good Part and Company, because those times I'm not really going to be able to pay unless I was able to drum up business to a certain point. And this is my first time dealing with this, so I wasn't able to drum up the business, right? Clearly. So summer 2022, was kind of rough mentally because I just didn't know how to manage that. But we got through it. I had one employee that stuck with me. He and I rocked out. That was my manager, my assistant manager at the time, and he and I did everything we could. Super reliable. Shout out to him. He moved on from Good Part and Company in February 2024. So happy for him. He got a beautiful family, all that good stuff. So, and my man rocked out. Then we moving into year 2, and everything was flowing. Like, I knew the money was coming in. I could see everything that was happening in the cafe. I'm able to like update promotional items. We did holiday specials. We had special holiday drinks, right? Like holiday smoothies. We had the mango madness where it looked like we had like blood in the cup, and we had a charcoal black smoothie. Then when like NBA playoffs come and the basketball season came, I had like special basketball, themed situations. Baseball, lacrosse is the big deal. So the baseball and football team, lacrosse team, the track team. Everybody really started rocking with me. So you can go to the page, you can see our pictures that we have on Instagram with like the baseball team. And all of the people really started rocking with us. The student athletes started to get involved. We had regular customers and all of that good stuff. But another thing I noticed, right? So now I notice how the school schedule impacts my ability to employ or capture or intrigue A type of players. The next thing I realize is that the how it impacts how we can connect with the customers. So because I have a new point of sale system at Johns Hopkins University, I'm not able to offer what we offered at the first store, which is loyalty rewards. So I'm noticing we having a bunch of repeat customers, and the repeat customers from before, the original good partners, when they came to the cafe, they'd be like, "Hey, you still got the loyalty rewards?" They want to cash in their rewards. I want to give them the rewards, but I got a whole new system. And now I realize that doesn't work in favor of Good Part and Company, because that allows me to stay connected to the customers in a different way. It allows me to offer them rewards. People love getting rewards. They want to cash that in. It ain't even about look. They get to cash that in. That's a great thing. So I had to get tactical, like straight break down and get manual on them, like an analog way, and take it back in the day. Like some people still use this, but we had like punch cards. I had to make punch cards so that we can make sure people were getting like some kind of bonus or reward for coming by. Like when you like something, you're going to go and cop that regularly. So the students coming through, they want the same smoothie, same bowl, all of the customers, citywide customers and everything. They want the same thing. So like that was a challenge that I had to overcome. And I was only able to think about that. That came to me through meditation, legit. Like I was sitting there, I was thinking, I was just meditating, trying to clear my mind. And then I was just like, I thought about the countertop space and the two kiosks that we had at Johns Hopkins. In between the kiosks was flyer pamphlets and business cards. And in my mind, the vision went, replace the business cards with punch cards, and then boom. So now I know punch cards. Well, how can I get them to get the punch card? How do I know what loyalty members I have? Instead of just giving them a punch card, they had to sign up for the punch card. That's when I brought in things like QR codes and stuff. All these things come from having good mental clarity. Now, if you're eating a poor diet or you're tipsy and things like that, then it's just not going to work. So I was able to make those kind of changes, capture more customers, and keep the business flowing and manage customer relations in a different way at that time. But those are just like two of the small things that put me at a disadvantage. Another big disadvantage of being within the Hopkins dining system was the point of sale system, which was pretty tough, but I was able to manage it. And then shout out to my guy Mike. When I first got there, he uploaded some of my menu, and then legit Johns Hopkins was like, "I'm gonna show y'all something." They was just like, "Here go the point of sale system. This is how it's set up, and here go the instructions. Good luck." And this is what they gave me. So I'm supposed to just figure this joint out and figure out how to work the point of sale system, how I can run specials, how I can adjust stuff, how I can do discounts, all that type of stuff. That was a big disadvantage. Moving forward into year 3, I'm going to talk to you guys about how and why I decided to close Good Part and Company. So on top of the point of sale system, having to figure that out, on top of not being able to offer loyalty rewards, on top of not being able to hire A-tier talent based on the limited or the adjusted work schedule for food and beverage, I was like, I don't really like this. I don't really like this partnership because it doesn't help Good Part and Company grow. Now, it's not Johns Hopkins' responsibility to help my business grow, but I do think it's within their best interest to help me succeed at the highest level I can on the campus. And to be honest, I didn't get that kind of support, especially after their turnover was kind of high. Like their own staff and was it was interesting because I would see people who were there and they were like out of there. And those people they were my work associates, or they worked directly with me through Hopkins Dining. So moving into year 3, they made some changes with the point of sale system and how that all worked. And I didn't have control, even though I studied this book and implemented all of this stuff on how to work stuff and had my own relationship with tech support, my man Jermaine. Like they just took control of it and didn't tell me, like, we didn't have no workaround or anything. So a lot of times you guys might come and you add strawberries, but you add strawberries to your smoothie bowl, and then you get your smoothie bowl and it don't have strawberries. It's because I can't make the adjustment in the kiosk to add this for the strawberries to show up on the ticket, on the kitchen ticket for me and my staff to make it. Like those little things, it seems so small. But once you start getting things rolling, you got your system set up, you got to start winning in the margins of your business. That's what really good service at Good Part and Company looks like. We're not supposed to keep getting the smoothie bowl toppings wrong. If I want to do an add-on to make more money, say we got some extra juice shots and we want to get them joints off. All I had to do before was hit a button, click, press upload, and now you can get a discount. You can add a smoothie shot or wellness shot to your smoothie or smoothie bowl just for a couple dollars. I don't have control over that. That impacts how much money we can make. That impact how great we can serve. People don't know that we got the smoothies. They see the menu, but I mean the wellness shots. They see the menu, but they don't know they can tap in like that and get more for their money, right? Now, mind you, they're using their dining dollars or even they're using their personal credit cards, whatever it is. I can't help them. And in order to grow your business, is 3 things you can do: get more customers, raise your prices, or sell your current customers more things. That's how you grow your business money, right? Your revenue. Well, it's tough to get more customers because it's tough to get more customers on campus because I'm behind the counter, right? Food and beverages demanding, so I got to be there. And I'm not getting any support on how to spread the word on campus. I can't get, I'm not gonna say I can't. It's difficult for me to tap into citywide customers like I did before because the revenue is slowed up due to the inconsistent payments. So I can't like invest in the next part, which was to add a mobile attachment. I can't do that, so I can't expand my customer base that way. I can raise the prices a bit just based on the market. So I raised the prices before they took over POS. I raised the prices a bit just to compensate for the adjustment in inflation, like coming off the COVID and everything like that. But also it's unattractive, especially to student customers, because mentally their financial relationship is through the lens of a college student. So I've been a college student. I know what that feel like. So you don't want to see the prices go up because even though it's dining dollars, it seems crazy. So I can't raise the prices but so much. And what was the third one? Raise the prices, get new customers. Whatever it was 2 out of the 3 at least was too challenging for me to start to grow my revenue. So I'm like, I can't really grow my revenue. I got 2 top tier players. One of them gone because they're a college student. The other one, he about to have a family, and I need to be able to get him benefits. And I don't want him from being in that position. And I can't really hire. It's going to be tough to hire. I can't snipe anybody because I ain't making enough money. And if you're not leading, and if you're not growing your business, nobody's going to follow you in growing your business. You got to be able to grow your business. Like me being able to make the leap in the first year to a second joint, that put hella belief in my team and me. Like, damn, I don't know what Quintel do, but somehow he figured out how to get a deal with Johns Hopkins. Now, like, what's the next move? Quintel looking at me like, yo, we gonna go mobile, we gonna have a van, we gonna do this and that, and none of that's happening. So I can't keep the 8 players. So I'm like, all right, I can't keep the 8 players. I can't tap in my people like I want. So like I started to do, sell them more customers. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Now I can't do what I wanted to do. And then I knew I wanted to do coaching because like I was getting a lot of feedback from it in the original cafe. But I was like, hey, we got resources on campus, and I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. We got resources on campus, some educational resources. I got workshop rooms. I know a little bit about. I know a little about curriculum. I used to teach. Me and my man, Be Easy, shout out to Be Easy. And I'm on campus. So like I'm working with other teachers and faculty and professors and all. So I put together a curriculum. We started doing plant-based nutrition workshops, health and wellness workshops. And then that went pretty well. And that's what really gave me the idea, like, yo, this is the space you need to be in, because I had the most fun. I had the most energy when I was doing my IG lives, when I was creating content, putting it on Instagram, when I did my podcast, right? Good Part Podcast is still on iTunes and Spotify if you want to check out those episodes. And I wasn't great at speaking yet, but I was getting better and better. And so that's what I was like, I need to be in this space. And then even during those first workshops, I had somebody get up and walk straight out the workshop on me. Then this is all tied to Good Part, man. So the lady just get up and leave, and I knew somebody that knew her. I didn't know who she was, but that person later on came and told me, like, yeah, somebody told me they came, but they didn't like it and they left. And I don't know if it was because of me or they wasn't getting what they wanted out of the workshop. I mean, yeah, it was like a master class more than a workshop. Maybe they thought it was going to be more like a workshop where they can like actively engage or something, like whatever it was. It gave me a quick lesson and okay, this is how I need to be doing it. So I went home. I went back to the lab. We were making a little bit of money, enough to where I had enough. I had enough mental capacity to like not worry about money, and I could start building something else. And that something else ended up being Harcum Holistic. But before we got to that, I had a plant-based coaching course. It's called the Plant-Based Pivot. I had a few customers and a few clients in that, and I was able to get them results. Shout out to Janelle. She's one of like my biggest advocates. So I knew I was doing the right thing. And I knew that my whole goal was to help people, like I said, improve their quality of life from the inside out. And I can help more people this way than in Good Part and Company for two reasons. One is brick and mortar. The expenses are high, but it's locked and tied geographically. I can only make money in this area from this location. Two, it's even more restricted because I'm on a college campus, so it's even more difficult to serve beyond that. But I can do coaching online. I can travel. I can move around. I can make it happen. I can shake it up and get results for a lot more people just straight up by taking advantage of something like this, like YouTube, right? Or IG Live, like what we on now. So that's what I really want to do. And by the time we get to year 3, before we go into the 3rd school year, I get hit up by the higher ups who have an admin and dining staff, and they was like, "Hey, we want to talk about the contract and everything." And I was like, "Oh, all right, cool, great." Uh, I don't necessarily love the partnership, and I didn't express it in that way, but I ain't like the partnership. They knew because I ain't never talked to them much about anything. They told me what they had going on. They told me what they wanted from me, and I told them what I needed from them. And then they said, "Well, here's the opportunity to extend your contract." And this is what we get into what the title was all about. Why I rejected a $800,000 $1 million offer. Now, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show you something, and this is not a stunt or a flex, but let me share my screen because I need you guys to see what's going on. Oh man, all this time I've been all right. All this time I've been trying to do that. That's sorry about that, guys. It's my first time going live. Don't be mad at me. All right. So I'm sharing my screen now on YouTube. This is my sales by category detail. Basically, the categories of what I sell, right? So you got your different menu items, right? Your different product lines. As you can see highlighted here, from November 2001 when I first arrived up until we just closed in March, which is only 3.5 years. Here highlighted, you can see what we earned, right? Over $700,000. That does not account for any juice cleanses. You can see here, you see it's only smoothies, merch, over the counter items, cold pressed juice, smoothies, bowls. Over $700,000. That don't account for juice cleanses. That don't even account for all of the merch. That don't account for any of the online classes, and that don't account for year 1 of Good Part and Company. Now you see how this was. I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I'm smart enough to know how to end this now. Now you see how this was $1 million contract because that's what the extension was for. The extension wasn't for the actual dollar amount. Good Part and Company generated the dollar amount. Me and my team generated that $700,000 plus, which ended up being over $800,000 when you include all of the items that we do sell online and in store, not including pop-ups and vending like when we did the vegan soul fest and things like that, right? So now that I did it, like I'm looking at my numbers. I'm like, damn, I don't know I'm putting these numbers up. I don't know my staff because I pay my staff first. You own a business, you start out, you get paid last. I don't know I'm putting these big numbers up. I know I live my life on a budget, and I just need my business to keep going. So all the money go right back into the business. Like it sounds cliche, but that's what all the business owners do. So I'm looking, and I'm like, yo, this how much money I made. This how much money y'all slowed up on me. I'm not asking y'all to give me the money back. I'm asking y'all to give me a chance to actualize or realize my actual earnings. And so this is what I need from y'all, Johns Hopkins. And he was like, well, this is going to be a new standard contract going forward. We can't do that. And I said, well, I can't sign that contract. So I already decided I was closing Good Part and Company last August. And I didn't tell anybody except for my mentor who I was working with, who I was talking to. Now, around that same time, I had an opportunity to go and partner to general manage another food and beverage place because they saw the work I did with Good Part, and it would be we would they would buy into Good Part to make them brother and sister companies. And so I did training in the summertime. I had some time. I went and did training to learn how to manage that operation, how we can put it all together. But we just couldn't quite figure out how to put it all together. And maybe I'll talk about that in another story. But that would have been a great way to spin off from Hopkins into that. But knowing that I had that deal available and that I had that type of potential, it gave me so much more confidence to say I'm not signing that contract. I'm just going to finish out. I ain't got to talk to you all about whatever. I'm just going to go hard, make sure my team is taken care of, make sure the good partners are served at the highest level I can possibly serve, and meditate and do some push-ups and eat some kale and drink some smoothies. Like, I'm not going to play with y'all because y'all messing with the money. And if y'all do that, y'all messing with my ability to help people improve their quality of life from the inside out. And if you stop that, then you messing with how I live. And I can't have it. And I'm just not. This is how I'm thinking. I ain't even going to all this with them because I got to maintain professionalism. Then they started hiring new staff. I told you their turnover was high. The new staff was not as hospitable as the original staff, and that's when I really knew this relationship ain't it. So there was only one way I would have extended my contract, and then as time went on, I was like, I'm not even going through it. And then and the only reason I wanted to do that gave myself that one chance because there's no permanent friends or enemies when in business. And if I had the opportunity, now that I had a bit of a handle on things, if I had the opportunity to grow up Good Part and Company, I could give my assistant manager a bigger role, more money, and benefits. And if that would have worked for him, then that's what I would have did. I wasn't able to do that. Robert, what's up? I wasn't able to do that. So I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna just cash this thing out. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna do the best we can. And these last 2 semesters, which happen to be this last school year, we're gonna close out. So a lot of people were surprised to find out a lot of people were surprised to see that we were closing, and they were like, "Oh, sorry to hear that. Wish you well going forward." I appreciate that, but I had already found the lane. Like like when you have a job, they say don't quit your job until you have another one. When you start a business, you always got ideas for business because now you're here for business, right? Listen, the accumulation of wealth is a spiritual outcome. Business is a spiritual transaction. I'm rolling in that spirit. And I talk about this, and a lot of people don't like to talk about it. That's the spirit I move in. Like, I love business probably more than I love health, but I can't have business if I don't take care of my health. So, and I know that the best way for me to leverage myself into business is to do it around health because it's something that I live out. That's why I got the 2 opportunities beyond Johns Hopkins to partner because they was like, yo, you live what you actually offer. We would like to partner, but I wasn't able to figure those deals out. But anyway, in closing, I'm gonna keep it real. I took notes on this, right? You gotta stay committed, right, to yourself. So I committed to myself to manage my stress through meditation, to get my fitness right, because I'm standing on my lip. I'm standing up 10 hours a day, damn near, not including running or anything like that, right? So you gotta take care of yourself physically, which means you gotta have better nutrition because nutrition supports performance on all levels, right? You need a diet to be the best. You need a solid diet to be the best entrepreneur you can be because you got to be able to think and move. You got to be able to think and move. You really got to be able to think and move, and you got to be able to lead. And you can't be out here looking flabby and sick and think people going to respect your leadership. They might follow your directions, but they don't respect you as a leader. And I was not having that. I want to lead at the best that I can. Okay. Now, the reason why I restarted the business, yes, I want to make money, but more than anything, I want autonomy to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whom I want. And with whom I want no longer, let me say it again, with whom I want was no longer inclusive of Johns Hopkins University. So I'm not saying it's like an easy decision just because I was confident about it. Don't make it easy because that's my source of revenue at the time. But the same way I had to make the decision to close my first store is the same way I made the decision. It just took a little longer than 24 hours. But I got it done because I know what's coming next. So what's next? Harcum Holistic health and performance coaching platform for overwhelmed, busy professional men, mostly in tech, some in finance. I had a few clients already. I see what results I got for them. Shout out to Chuck. Shout out to B. Shout out to Janelle from my plant-based coaching program. I put all those things together, and that's kind of what I overcame from, right? Being overwhelmed and stressed as Social Security. I'd rather be overwhelmed and stressed based on my business and what's going to feed me, my soul, help me engage in that spiritual transaction of big business, right? That's what I'm always trying to do. Um, and uh, and yeah, so I built up that platform and thought, what can I do to really make sure other guys that have been in my position, unfulfilled, overwhelmed, stressed, fatigued in their professional job, they may not want to be entrepreneurs, but they definitely want to level up. They already making good money, right? They probably making six figures, and they want to figure out, how can I make mid, high six figures? How can I branch off and start my own business? Or how can I just get my energy back so I can have enough energy to get home and play with my kids and lead my family, right? Or participate, because some guys just be so burnt out. Y'all don't understand. Yo, dudes really be out here running on fumes to socialize, just to show up in the world, right? Trying to socialize, trying to manage relationships, whether it be personal relationships, romantic relationships, manage their relationships with money. Hey, look at Hey Easy in there, manage relationships with money, and like, you need clarity, you need good health for that. And I know that that's the best place I'm gonna make impact. I'm gonna make more impact there than I will make serving smoothies and bowls, right? Because that's going to get a shorter term outcome, which is not bad, but it's different. And I'm trying to make big outcomes because I feel like that's the space I need to be in. Is better business. It works better for my personality. It works better for the way I invest my time, and it helps me with the relationship matter. Like, I really, really felt like depleted when I started to lose connection with the good partners, because they really was like, hit me on Instagram, ask me about a juice, or just say what's up when you having the next pop up. That froze joint you made was dope. When you making a new shirt, like, yo, when you making new merch was the one. Like, I got hella merch right now in the back. I couldn't even get off, so I'm gonna just drop it online eventually. But we don't have any merchant. We didn't have merchandising at Johns Hopkins, and I told you it wasn't an afterthought for me. I'm not just gonna throw some hat on the counter and be like, buy it. The hat gonna get dusty. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna look good. It's not gonna be spaced out right where you can get the attention it deserves. So I wasn't gonna keep compromising the way my business is supposed to be, when I can go and build a business that benefits me and my family. Mind you, my mom worked for me. She wanted to see me keep growing. You know, my lady got my back. She participated in my business. She helped me with promo, some of the stuff y'all see on Instagram. Good, Fresh Press Fitness. She was there to lead all the yoga classes. So like, I gotta hold it down to make sure we all good and we doing our thing and we keep rising up. And I want the good partners to keep doing the same thing. And so, if you feel like I can help, even with just the content with Harcum Holistic, you don't have to participate in the coaching. You just come through for the content, understanding meditation, fitness, stress management, nutrition, those types of things. Then I feel like I'm doing what I need to be doing. And so I turned down an extension on an $800,000, possibly $1 million extension, so that I can create content, live a life I want to live, and make the impact that I want to make. And so I thank all y'all for tapping into this live stream on IG Live, on YouTube. Thank you for being with me through YouTube. It's my first time live streaming on YouTube. I'm going to continue to work on this, but right now I'm doing it through Zoom. I'm pretty sure I can get somebody to come help me produce this. And I love y'all. You can stay tapped in the Good Partner Company. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be spending most of my time on LinkedIn. Why? Because that's where most of the guys who I'm probably going to be helping is living at. You on LinkedIn. And listen, I'm only trying to help guys who want to get better. Guys who want to get better probably already already earn a certain amount of money because they realize up is up and to the right, right? Just like a stock, that's the direction you need to be going. They on LinkedIn. So I'll be over there dropping way more content. I'll be on Instagram here and there. You can definitely find me on YouTube. So like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. I'm out. Now, how do I end this thing? I really don't know how to do this. End stream.